Ms. Legalista here. Welcome to the video. I'm going to try not to make a bunch of jokes about being in a pickle in this video, but I feel like I can't help myself. Wahlburgers. I don't really eat burgers like this, but Wahlburgers appears to have gotten itself in a pickle because it has these products that are for sale. They are pickles, and they've been advertised as, let me make sure I get this right, natural, fresh, no preservatives. I'm actually going to show you the pictures in just a second. But now there is this class action settlement, a settlement, millions of dollars. So let me backtrack here for a second, because some of us, don't necessarily support these kinds of awards that end up providing most of the money to the attorneys. I'm going to show you exactly how little you're going to be getting back if you decide that you want to participate in this class action lawsuit where Wahlburgers has gotten itself into a pickle. Let me go over to this picture so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. This is directly from the lawsuit. I love the lawsuits where they include pictures because I think that's the best example to show people what was going on. I can read the lawsuit sometimes. You guys go to sleep. I get it. You're bored to death with me. But when I have a picture to show you exactly what people are suing about, well, I think that's a lot more interesting, and you're more likely to remember it and get something out of it. So here's one of the pictures that got submitted in the complaint, and it says fresh dill spears. Fresh dill spears. And I'm going to tell you why this fresh language is an issue. Fresh dill spears. Now, I don't really eat pickles like this, so I'm not really going to get mine all in a wad in a pickle. Fresh dill chips. I don't really eat those either. Then we have fresh dill chips, some more. And then we have the side of the package. And this is the one I sort of want to focus on here. You can see it says vegan, gluten-free, GMO-free, no preservatives, all natural, certified kosher. All right, so here's the problem. People are out here buying these products, supposedly looking at the information on the nutritional label and then making decisions. Now, I know a lot of times we aren't really looking at the packaging label, this nutritional information that they're required to put up there. But some of us do. Sometimes I do really look at it. If it's a product that I've been buying and using for a really long time, well, they've probably already passed the test. I've checked them out. They're good to go. Either I'm saying to myself, you know what? I don't really care. I'm going to eat it anyway. I know it's not necessarily that good for me. Or I am, sort of saying, maybe I'm just going to eat it every once in a while, or I don't care. But in this case, the problem is they put this information on this packaging. And I want to go over and tell you what the problem is. So if we go back to the top of this lawsuit, you see the plaintiffs there who apparently purchased these products thinking, hey, these were going to be all natural products. Down here in the nature of the action, this is a class action lawsuit. It says these products were sold in grocery stores nationwide and marketed as, among other things, fresh, all natural, and containing no preservatives. Unfortunately, for all reasonable consumers, including plaintiffs, these claims are false and misleading. Well, there's the problem. So if you're going to put a product out on the market, then yes, we all know that companies engage in puffery, right? They say, oh, we're the best at this. We do this better than anybody else. We're the top. And puffery is legal. There's nothing wrong with it because people know that you're just saying stuff. We've kind of gotten used to that. But when it becomes misleading, when it's a misrepresentation, when it's fraud, then that's different. And consumers can go to court and say, you misled me by putting a label on those pickles that says that they're fresh and all natural, when guess what? Look at what it says in number 2. Far from being fresh, all natural. Oh, let me pull it back up so you can see it. Far from being fresh, all natural, and preservative free. The pickles contain considerable amounts of an artificial chemical preservative, sodium benzoate, designed to lengthen the pickle's shelf life. Now, they actually performed tests on these pickles to determine how much of this ingredient was in there. Well, now it looks like you've got this chemical preservative in a product where you saw the label said, hey, there are no preservatives, right? This is all fresh. This is all natural. If it's fresh and all natural, why would you need a preservative? And there goes my phone. Let me show you the what Healthline has to say about sodium benzoate, everything you need to know. Now, I'm not going to go through all of this, but I do want to point just this first part out here. I don't think we have to go very far. It says, a debated food preservative, sodium benzoate, is also added to some medications and cosmetics. The World Health Organization has set an acceptable daily intake, and the FDA allows for a small concentration in foods and beverages. Okay, so if you're trying to monitor this so that you don't go over your acceptable daily intake, and we know people really aren't going around, most people are not doing this, right? But if you were, and you go buy these pickles and you're thinking that these pickles are all fresh, no preservatives, and you would never think, hey, they're not going to have sodium benzoate in it because they're all fresh, they're all natural, it's no preservatives. And in fact, that's not the case. So this is why we now have this lawsuit that is a class action lawsuit, and everyone can now submit their claim. Picklesettlement.com is the location for this settlement if you want more information about it. And let's take a look at some of this, and then I'll wrap this up because I want you to see how little you're going to get back. How little you're going to get back. It says, if you purchased any Wahlburgers Pickles between April 1st, 2021 and March 31st, 2023, you may be eligible to receive a cash payout from a class action settlement. Now, let me stop for a second. Some of the biggest scams and frauds that are going on right now are people who are submitting claims in class action settlements where they never purchased or used the product. There have been studies that have come out recently showing how for even a car seat company, there was this class action lawsuit. They received more claims than products that they actually sold. So, you know, people were submitting claims to get money and they had not actually purchased those car seats. So that's why this is somewhat of a concern now. These class action lawsuits and how the fraudsters and scammers are saying we're just going to go after this money too. It's a problem because it takes money away from the people who actually purchase those products and would like to be able to purchase something else and throw that other thing away. So it says here a settlement has been reached. You have until July 29th of this year, the 29th of this month, to get your payment. So what is your payment going to look like? All right, so this is the claims page. I want to show you this first. This is where you would click, put in your information, product purchase verification. Now, here's the thing. If you have proof of purchase, you get one amount. If you don't have proof of purchase, you get another amount. And so you get to go over here and select, and you've got your number of products here. And then same thing here, proof of purchase, sorry. And you can upload your documentation. You can upload your documentation. And then they have ways for you to get your money. Now, this is a fairly new thing. Years ago, this is not the way it worked, right? They have Venmo and Zelle. Sorry, they have Venmo and Zelle. You can now get your product that way. And then this last piece I want to point out before we get to what you get, the amount of money, is this attestation under penalty of perjury. So you are signing and submitting this and stating that the information I'm providing is truthful. See, even though the scammers are scamming, they're just going ahead and signing this. And the reality is they can actually be brought up on criminal perjury charges because if they didn't purchase it, well, they're committing perjury. And then you click submit. Now, on this basic information page, okay, why is there a notice? I already talked about this. It says the individuals who sued are called the plaintiffs. They sued the company. What is this lawsuit about? The lawsuit alleges that the statements fresh, all natural, and no preservatives on the Wahlburgers Pickles are misleading because the products contained sodium benzoate. They spelled that wrong. Okay. Sodium benzoate, which is typically used as a preservative. Settlement benefits. This is where we want to go. All right. So the total amount of the settlement provides that the defendants will pay $2 million into a settlement fund to pay for the following: claims administration. So the company that is administering everything you see here that I'm presenting on this website, attorney's fees and service awards. Okay, the attorneys that brought this case forward, they get paid. And then you have the eligible claims. So not all claims will be eligible. It could be that somebody submits a proof of purchase and it shows that they were not purchased. Those products were not purchased within that timeline, remember? Or it was not one of the correct products. Maybe they included something that was from another company. Now, over here on the top class actions lawsuit, you can subscribe to their newsletter and you will get all kinds of information on class actions. But it says here, under the terms of the Wahlburgers settlement, class members can receive $2. $2. Yes, you heard me correctly. $2 per purchased product without proof of purchase. Now, you know, a lot of you are not holding on to those receipts from 2021 or 2023. So you're likely not going to have your receipt showing proof of purchase. So you're likely going to fall under the $2 per purchased product. And yeah, so you're not going to be getting a whole lot back. And it says, and can claim up to 6 products for a maximum of $12. Class members with proof of purchase can claim as many products as they have proof of and will receive full reimbursement for these products. So there you go. It's either $2, max being $12 if you don't have proof, or whatever the amount was that you paid. So let's sort of ask ourselves something here. Is this worth it? Is it worth it to go to court, sue this party, get $2 million, where the people who actually were damaged or, quote, injured are only going to be receiving at most $12 or whatever they paid for the product? Part of this has to do with helping manufacturers who put products out into the marketplace understand that they have an obligation to include information that is correct and not to include information that may be misleading or just a fraud, because they're saying, hey, this is what this is. And it turns out that's not true. That's not true at all. And they had to know to some extent that this was in their product. And yet somebody's sitting in the marketing division saying, hey, let's put this on the product. And they're not really connecting with the product development division that knows what's actually in the product. So there's a very big disconnect there. Sometimes it's just negligence, okay? They're not connecting. Other times it's intentional. They know that this ingredient may be in the product, and yet they still put this on the label. Now, in this case, I don't know whether or not this was intentional or just negligence on their part. In any case, the company decided that, hey, we're not going to proceed with litigation here. Let's just go ahead and settle this without admitting any guilt. We will set up a fund, pay this amount into it, see if the court accepts it, and then we'll look at providing some sort of compensation to the injured parties. All right, so that's the way it goes. Like I said, I I feel some kind of way about some of these lawsuits. And, I understand the ultimate goal is to have better information on products. But sometimes I do have a problem with the process that's used to get there and who that process benefits the most up front. But in the end, the real beneficiaries are the consumers. Okay. The real beneficiaries are the consumers. So let me know, do you eat Wahlburgers Pickles? I just don't. I don't. But let me know in the comments if this is something that you do. All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe and peace.